Hey everyone, it's Brandy and you're watching Abstract Crafter. Today's video is day 3 out of 5 for the project Amazon, and we have 3 companies left. So if you want to see who's up next and what it is that we are going to be dissecting today, then just keep on watching and we'll get into that as soon as we roll those credits. Alright everyone, here we go. So, store number 3, day number 3 of 5 in our Amazon project. Today's store is QC Style Store. I hadn't really seen anything much from them, but when I seen this one, I was in love. And as you can see here, this was a Sunday delivery, which is another nice thing about having Prime. So, this 2 days before this, we went over Gravity with the woodpecker and the fruit tree, and Tool Station with the tie-dye sunflower. So if you want to know more about the Amazon project, I'm not going to give a recap in this one. You'll have to go watch that. It'll be linked up in the eye, as well as day number 2 with Gravity. That will also be linked up in the eye. So if you want to know more about the Amazon project and what it is we're doing here, then go ahead and go watch those videos. And really, if you want to get the full scope of this whole thing, I highly suggest it. So far we've been 2 for 2 as far as recommending stores and getting a decent product. But the first 2 are also in boxes. The last 3 stores all arrived in a mailer. It might not be so bad. It depends really on how things go. I have not necessarily had the best of luck when it comes to the mailers, but you know, and that's where scoring is kind of difficult, because it's not the store, it's Amazon that's doing it, but they send their stuff to Amazon to ship for them. So in a way they are still, I mean, they'd be responsible if this were damaged or if anything were missing, regardless of who shipped it. So and I stated in the first 2 videos that because I have Amazon Prime, I'm guaranteed everything for 2-day delivery. So, as long as I get it within the time that they say, not including the day I order it, then I consider it to be all good. So I ordered this on the 11th. It shipped out the very next day on the 12th, and I got it on the 13th. So, very, very fast. 3 days total. This is, I'm calling this Wolves in Love, and you'll see. Let's get rid of this mailer. We don't need that anymore. Oh, and just for context, this is what it looked like. I realized I didn't show you that right away. So, and then it's just got this cellophane wrapper around it. This is another 30 by 40. I paid $8.98 for this. This was the least expensive one out of all of them. And so far, this is the first one to come with an opaque cover. It is quite small, but there was an image. They did show me the chart, and it didn't seem to affect the picture as far as what they showed me online. So I will show you the thumbnail here, but I'm also going to insert the picture from the store and the listing that prompted me to buy this. So why don't we insert that right here. Alright, now before we rip up this cover paper, I just want to show you, here are the diamonds that we got, and it looks like we got a lot of this color. I can't tell yet if they're using DMCs or not. It does not look like it. So this is so far the first one that is not using DMCs, and it's a square. It wasn't entirely clear if it was a square or a round. It did not list that. I actually thought it was going to be a round. The toolkit, oh, looks like they gave us a grippy, a nice green one. I didn't even notice it because it blends in. Some wax and just a basic pen. No extra baggies or anything like that. I am a little worried because this doesn't appear like a 30 by 40 or 40 by 30. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I really wasn't expecting square. So I'm probably going to just pull this cover paper all the way off so we can look at the whole thing. Oh yeah, see, it looks alright. They did, like I said, there was a picture of this chart. They did list that. Not all stores do that, and I'm just seeing some strings hanging off everywhere. Like they cut it really fast. So it looks really cute. And to me, it just looks like a couple of wolves on the ledge on a full moon. So that's why I called it Wolves in Love. Turning it over without actually letting it touch anything. The back of the canvas looks really good. I like to do that on the ones with opaque covers because, as we all know, that means that this is double-sided sticky tape versus glue. So, here is, ooh. See, now, the brand name is saying Lawnmow. But this, like I said, this actually comes from Cover Paper QC Style Store. And so here, this looks like it's going to be really difficult to read and distinguish. I'm having a hard time, and I'm sure you and the camera are having just as hard of a time. All the colors seem to look very similar, and it doesn't even look like the cover paper is adhered all the way. There's a lot of wrinkles, specifically right there. You can see the wrinkling right there. So we'll have to see. Yeah, it looks pretty blurry over here as far as, I mean, maybe with a light pad, but I'm guessing that this is, I'm going to have quite a bit of difficulty. And the production steps on this look very similar to some of the other canvases that we've looked at in this project so far. And then they also have the pictures. And since we're here, this is the chart. It's got 15 colors. And it just gives you a number and then the symbol. And the symbols are fairly basic. They go 1 through 8. And then they start with the letters. Actually, I think that's a 0. Number 9 is a 0. I can't see. It's hard to tell. Even in the light. See, it's actually a 9. But it looks like a 0. It's also right there on the canvas. I know my light is wanting to... But it's not very clear. And then they go in... from 10 to 15 is with the letters. Same with this last letter here, sorry. G, it kind of looks like an O. And you can see that right here under the moon as well. So yeah, not very good on the points. The canvas feels pretty typical, like most canvases. I'm noticing that it's just very sloppily put together. I mean, even though I paid only $9 for it, $8.98 to be exact, you still kind of want to make sure that everything is good. And I'm going to do something kind of weird. And I'm going to put the cover paper a little bit off center. Just for the sake of being able to measure. Well, I don't know if we'll actually be able to do that. Hopefully I'll just be able to see through that. And I can already tell that I'm off on this side because it's not covering everything. The glue... the tape, I should say, doesn't come off the edge all that far. Over here it does. It almost covers that whole half, which is fine. I just put some washi tape around it. This was one of the first 3 I ordered in which I didn't look at any customer reviews before purchasing. This will be the second smallest square I've ever completed. The first one was a Diamond Art Club one. Alright, so why don't we give this a quick measure and then we'll look over the diamonds and make sure we got 15 different colors. And guessing it's not going to be easy. I dropped my measuring tape. So for the Amazon ones, I do like to do it in centimeters and in inches because that's how they advertise them. So we're hitting 34. It's actually 33 3/4. And I'm guessing that was the side that was supposed to be 40. And this is 25 1/2 going this way. So from End to end, it's 30. From end to end, it's 40. So they do not measure by their picture size, and I feel like when you're getting something this small, that should be something that you advertise, because it's important when they're that small. I noticed though that like 30 by 40s, 40 by 30s, whatever, and smaller, they do tend to go off of the entire canvas versus just the picture itself. Not all stores, just the ones I've ordered from. So let's take a look at the diamonds. Obviously it's going to be a very dark color scheme, but let's make sure we have all 15. I'm still very hopeful that this will look good. The chart looked really good. And you can see here, let's focus in on these. We got 2 bags of the black, and I'm actually going to, well, I was going to try to do it this way. I don't know how well we can see the colors. Let's just look at the colors, and then we'll come back. So, square, and then there's some gray, and you can see every package seems to have its neighboring colors next to it. We have another gray, a very light yellow, another yellow. There's a navy, a brown, a steely blue. This is probably $9.39. This is such a dark blue. I want to make sure those are all the same. 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags of the 11. And then we have some browns, tan, peaches, and another brown. So it looks like we have all 15 colors. That is good. This would be the first square painting I've got that does not have DMC attached to it. They do on here instead. They have J9 or J4096 FF. That is the number. Oh, let's turn that autofocus off. Sorry about that. That is the number on the canvas itself. J4096 FF. Alright, so trying to look at my information. Yeah, they did not clarify. Now, you can always scroll down a little bit and look at the question and answers, and a lot of time customers that have bought before this will ask if it's round or square, and typically other people who bought it will answer. I didn't look at any of that for this order. For the first 3 orders, I did not. But sometimes when they show pictures, they'll show a picture of their drills and the drilling process. And they did show rounds. I'm not disappointed because it didn't state one way or the other. There's not really any more information for this one. So this will be a nice quick one. The next store after this, let me take a peek here. Okay, this is a store that I have had so many paintings on my wish list, but this particular set that I got, I hadn't seen before. So, oh, one other thing I want to mention before we talk about the next store is typically when you're looking at a canvas on Amazon, they'll have colors, but it'll be different, like a set of different paintings. And this was the only one mentioned. There was no other options besides the wolf one, I believe. I could be wrong because I looked at this from 2 different sellers. Okay, anyway, so the next store is, and I'm not really sure how to say it, it's Unimi? I'm saying Unimi. But that is the next store up, and this will be the first of our multi-packs. So I did 3 singles and 2 multi-packs. And that will be the first one. They have so many adorable paintings on that site, so I'm really hoping that that one goes well. They have a bunch of unicorns and this really cute bunny laying on a moon, and I love that one, and I really want that one next. I think it would be an amazing baby shower gift for a boy or for a girl whose room is decorated blue. But, so they're up next for examination. Why don't we jump into scoring on this one? There wasn't a lot to go over because they didn't give me a lot of information. So, Canvas condition, even though it was rolled inside of there, the canvas appears to be okay. There is some slight wrinkling on the wolf, but I don't feel like that is deep enough that it's going to cause the diamonds to go on badly. Oh, and there go our diamonds. Let me pick those up. Shake off the dog hair. That's what I get for leaving them on the edge like that. I should have known that their own weight would carry them off. Let's just put them in their baggie. That way they're not an issue anymore. Now fall. Okay, so canvas condition, I will keep the 1 point. If when we get into post, if it did cause the diamonds to go on there badly, then the score will be adjusted in post review. So I will give it 1 point for canvas condition. The canvas image looks amazing. Not to be confused with the clarity of symbols. The image itself, it looks very clear. I can see what's going on. So 1 point for canvas image. The clarity of symbols, I am taking a half a point off. So they will get a half a point for clarity of symbols. Because as you could see, they were hard to read. They were kind of distorted a little bit and smushed. So I have a feeling some of those are going to be a little bit difficult to work with. Like the 9 looked like a 0, the G looked like an O and a Q all at the same time. So half a point for clarity of symbols. So far it appears like we have a complete bead inventory. Everything was included. We did get a canvas, beads, and tools, so 1 point for everything being included. The outside packaging, though it came in a bubble mailer, let me grab it. Even if this were to get wet, it's still got this bubble wrap on the inside to kind of protect it, and it did get to me okay. I don't care for the bubble wrapping, but that doesn't mean that it didn't turn out okay. So 1 point for the outside packaging. The way that it was packed on the inside, you saw that it was wrapped in this, and this adds another layer of protection against the elements, so I will give it the point for that. I don't typically like when they're packed like that, but I can't mark anything against them because it didn't do any damage. Like the tray and the pen weren't sticking out and stabbing it. So fast processing shipping, it's going to automatically get that point, and I said it in the first couple videos that Amazon is responsible for their own shipping. So I do include that when it comes to Amazon. So 1 point for fast processing and shipping. I got it in 3 days from the time I ordered to the time it arrived. And I did go over this again in the first 2 videos, but instead of 2 points for overall first impression, I'm taking a point out and giving it 1 point for description accuracy, since that's all we really have to go on when it comes to Amazon. So for overall first impression with my order, am I happy? I'm pretty happy. I'm a little disappointed in the size and in the fact that there's no DMC, so I am going to take a half a point off for that, because it's, are you happy with your order? So I'm taking a half a point off and giving them a half point for overall first impression. The description accuracy, there wasn't a whole lot of information to go off to begin with, so I got what I expected to get. I expected a small canvas. I expected all the beads to be there. The kit came as I expected, even though it didn't measure quite right. But that's not something I use to count against a store. They also did not advertise the kind of drills I guess I expected round. So I am going to take a half a point off for description accuracy. I don't do quarter points or anything like that, which is why I'm taking a half point off. So altogether, they lost a half a point for the clarity of symbols, they lost a half a point in my overall first impression, and they lost a half a point in the item or the description accuracy, giving an 8.5 out of 10, which is borderline if I would recommend or not. It's really going to depend on how things look when we get into post review. So with that, well, let's wrap this up. Stay tuned for the next episode of the Amazon experiment in day 4 and our first multi-pack. So with that, I will let you go. Have an awesome day. Have fun diamond painting. Have fun crafting. Have fun doing whatever it is that makes you happy. I love you, friends, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.